Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're doing something a little bit different. It's like a celebratory deep dive
Ooh, fun.
into the amazing career of Nellie Ann Tan.
Okay.
So get this, 45 years
Wow.
and still going strong as a financial advisor.
That is really inspiring, especially for those of us in the finance world. But really, it's a story for anyone who's looking to build a fulfilling life,
Absolutely. Okay, so let's rewind all the way back to the beginning.
right?
Nellie Ann's journey starts with her family. We're
Mm-hmm.
talking about a family that's totally steeped in entrepreneurship.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Her father was a movie and travel executive, and her mother ran this really unique gift shop with all kinds of imported items. So that's the environment she grew up in.
Wow, talk about a breeding ground for ambition. But wait a minute, her first job was at KFC.
Yes, that
The
KFC.
whole on fried chicken and finance. I don't.
Well, her family was actually part of bringing KFC to the Philippines.
Oh, wow.
And Nellie Ann started out as a waitress. But think about it, you're handling cash managing catering. She even became a manager right after high school.
Huh.
So it's like a finance 101, but with a side of coleslaw?
I love that analogy. So those early experiences at KFC really could have shaped her work ethic.
Yeah.
But were there any signs even earlier that she was interested in finance?
Oh, big time. From elementary school all the way through college, Nellie Ann was the class treasurer.
No way.
Yeah, and it wasn't just about collecting money, it was about forecasting,
Yeah.
managing budgets, being accountable to her classmates.
Sounds familiar, right?
Right, it's like she was unknowingly building this foundation for financial advising.
That's amazing how those early experiences can sometimes, pave the way.
Yeah.
But I'm also really curious about her mother's influence.
Oh, huge.
Because I understand she played a really significant role in Nellie Ann's life.
Absolutely. Her mother was like this entrepreneurial force, managing businesses, organizing fundraisers. She even produced fashion shows and concerts for charity. So Nellie Ann really learned from the best, absorbing that work ethic, the commitment to giving back, and even a deep sense of faith. So talk about a powerful role model.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So with that foundation,
Mhm.
it's no surprise that Nellie Ann carried those values into her own parenting journey.
Right.
But how did she manage to balance a successful career with raising two sons, William and Will?
Well, Nellie Ann really emphasizes prioritizing quality time.
Okay.
She built a really strong support system with her mother, her mother-in-law, and a nanny, which was essential, especially with all the travel her work required.
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is that she made sure that both William and Will received this well-rounded education at Jubilee Christian Academy.
So education was clearly a top priority for her son.
Oh, absolutely. But Nellie Ann didn't just focus on academics. She also made sure to instill strong Christian values in her children, so their upbringing really aligned with their religious teachings.
It sounds like she's incredibly close with her sons.
Oh, she is.
She even shared this really heartwarming story about a trip they gifted her to Scandinavia.
Oh, yeah. Imagine being surprised with a trip like that.
Right.
And they didn't just book the flights, they covered everything. And they even gave her these envelopes of local currency for each country so she didn't have to worry about exchanging money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really anticipated her needs and made sure she was comfortable the entire time.
That's amazing.
It really shows you the strength of their relationship.
It does. It seems like those heartwarming gestures continue even today.
Oh, absolutely. From concert tickets to traveling together, it's clear they really value the time they spend together. And Nellie Ann just lights up when she talks about their achievements.
That's so sweet. So tell me more about what her sons are doing now.
Well, William has actually become quite the financial whiz himself.
Really?
He's excelling as a stockbroker, equities trader, and businessman. And, during the pandemic, he really stepped up managing the household, making sure Nellie Ann was well taken care of.
Wow, he truly embodies that spirit of family.
He does. And then there's Will, the younger son. He has a really fascinating career trajectory. He started at Unilever, transitioned to Meta, Facebook,
Wow.
moved to New York City, and now he's actually pursuing his MBA and a master's in artificial intelligence at Kellogg.
Wow, that's impressive.
Right. Talk about ambition.
Both of her sons are incredibly accomplished.
Yeah.
It seems like she's really instilled that drive and determination in them. But does she only focus on their career success?
Well, Nellie Ann is incredibly proud of their diligence and their achievements, but for her, it's not just about climbing the corporate ladder. She emphasizes using those skills and success to make a positive impact on the world.
So it's not just about personal achievements, it's about giving back and making a difference.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful message. And speaking of making a difference, that brings us to Nellie Ann's transition from the restaurant business
Yeah,
to becoming a financial advisor with Inlife.
right.
What a leap,
Big leap.
because it sounds like she was quite content running her family's restaurant.
She was successful, no doubt, but the restaurant demanded all of her time.
Yeah.
247, no days off, no holidays, and that's when she was introduced to the world of insurance.
Okay, so did she immediately jump into life insurance?
Well, initially she started with non-life insurance,
Okay.
but in 1978 she made this bold decision to leave the restaurant behind and dive headfirst into life insurance with Inlife.
Wow, so I'm imagining her father, with his business background, probably had some reservations about that decision.
He did. He was skeptical at first, to say the least,
Right.
but Nellie Ann was determined.
So how did she convince him that this was the right move?
Well, actions speak louder than words, right?
Yeah.
She started topping sales charts, receiving awards. She even got featured in newspapers. Her success was undeniable.
That's one way to prove your point.
Exactly, and she explained to her father that as a financial advisor, she was her own boss. She set her own hours, and her income was directly tied to her ability to help clients.
Smart.
Right? It was a very compelling argument.
It sounds like she found a career that perfectly aligned with her skills and her values.
She did, and her father eventually saw that too. He became incredibly proud of her achievements and the impact she was making.
That's a great lead into our next segment.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about her early experiences and the influence of her family, but let's dive into her accomplishments during her incredible 45-year career with Inlife.
Okay.
What are some of her most notable achievements?
Well, where do we even begin? We're talking numerous awards and recognitions,
Yeah.
including MDRT Life and qualifying memberships, Court of the Table and Underwriter of the Year, recognitions, countless trophies, and incentive trips. But for Nellie Ann, true success goes way beyond those accolades.
So I'm curious to hear what she considers her most significant accomplishments.
For her, it's all about the impact.
Okay.
Building trust with clients, helping them achieve financial security, guiding them through uncertainty, enabling them to pursue their dreams.
So it's about making a real difference in people's lives.
Exactly. It's not just about numbers. It's about building those relationships and making that positive impact. And that's what sets Nellie Ann apart.
Right. It's about providing genuine value and building those long-term relationships.
Exactly.
And I'm sure those relationships proved incredibly valuable when the world was turned upside down by the COVID-19 pandemic.
Oh, for sure.
How did Nellie Ann navigate those challenges? Because it sounds like she continued to be a top achiever even when everything shifted to the virtual world.
She did. She showed incredible resilience.
So how did she adapt to such a dramatic change?
Well, she had incredible support from her sons.
Of course.
They patiently guided her through the digital landscape,
Mhm.
helped her master all the technology needed to operate virtually.
Wow. It's heartwarming to see how they continue to support her.
They really are an incredible team, but it wasn't just her sons. She also credits the guidance and support of Inlife staff and managers who provided step-by-step training and helped her adapt to the changing landscape.
That's great that Inlife provided that support structure during such a challenging time.
They did, but you know what else is fascinating?
Like that.
Even amidst a global pandemic, Nellie Ann's clients remained loyal and engaged.
Wow.
They continued to reach out for policy updates, inquiring about plans for their children, their grandchildren. They trusted her guidance and they valued her expertise even in those uncertain times.
That speaks volumes about the relationship she's built over the years.
It does.
It's a real testament to her trustworthiness and the value she provides.
Absolutely. And it's that loyalty and trust that fuels Nellie Ann's passion. Even after 45 years, think about it. At 72, she could easily be enjoying a well-deserved retirement.
I know, right?
But she's still deeply committed to helping her clients.
That's inspiring, and it sounds like her clients are equally committed to her.
Oh, yeah.
They clearly value her experience and expertise.
They've experienced firsthand the positive impact she's had on their lives, and they continue to seek her advice and support. So it's a beautiful example of that win-win relationship.
It really highlights the power of building genuine, long-lasting relationships no matter what profession you're in.
Absolutely. But what's really interesting is that as Nellie Ann has gotten older, her definition of success has kind of evolved.
Oh, awesome.
It's no longer just about hitting those milestones or racking up awards.
So what does success look like for her now?
It's about creating richer experiences, nurturing relationships, sharing the wisdom she's accumulated, and leaving a legacy of kindness and resilience.
So it's about finding fulfillment in the simple joys of life and making a positive impact on those around her.
Exactly. And that's a powerful message for all of us, no matter what stage of life we're in.
It is. It's a reminder that success is a journey, not a destination. And as we evolve, our definitions of success evolve too.
Well said. And as we delve deeper into Nellie Ann's story, we'll see how this evolving perspective on success is reflected in her current goals and aspirations.
I can't wait to hear more. Stay tuned as we continue our deep dive into the inspiring life of Nellie Ann Tan. We'll be right back after a quick break.
Welcome back. It's really fascinating to hear how her definition of success has shifted over time. It is, isn't it? It's like she's unlocked this deeper level of fulfillment.
Totally. So what are her goals and aspirations at this point in her life, at 72?
Well, it seems like she's moved away from chasing those traditional accomplishments, and instead she's focused on creating meaningful experiences, deepening connections with the people she cherishes, and sharing the wisdom she's gained over the years.
It's a good reminder that success isn't one size fits all.
Right.
It's about aligning our actions with our values and prioritizing what truly matters to us.
Absolutely. And at 72, Nellie Ann recognizes that those priorities can change. It's not always about reaching the next milestone. It's about savoring the journey, nurturing those relationships, prioritizing self-care, and finding joy in the everyday
I
moments.
love that. I'm also curious to hear about her personal reflections. Did she mention anything about her hopes and prayers for this stage of her life?
Yeah, she does. She expresses this deep gratitude for her journey and acknowledges the incredible support she's received along the way, especially, her family, her loyal clients who have become like family, the dedicated staff and management at Inlife, and her longtime personal assistant, Felix Ortua.
Felix Ortua.
Yeah.
Tell me more about him because it sounds like he's been a pillar of support for Nellie Ann for decades.
Yeah.
3 decades, to be exact.
Wow.
He made a promise to Nellie Ann's mother that he would stay with her until she retired,
Wow.
and he's kept his word.
That is serious dedication.
Talk about loyalty.
Yeah, that's rare these days. It really speaks volumes about the relationships Nellie Ann has cultivated throughout her life.
It does. And get this, even though Felix is 70 himself, he continues to manage Nellie Ann's errands and keep her schedule organized.
Wow, they must have an incredible bond, built on trust and mutual respect.
It's really heartwarming to see that kind of dedication.
It is.
But when it comes to her hopes and prayers, Nellie Ann keeps it simple and profound. Her main desire, good health for herself and her loved ones.
That's something we can all relate to. When we have our health, we have everything right.
Absolutely.
It allows us to fully experience life, pursue our passions, and nurture those relationships that matter most.
Good health is the foundation for everything else we want to achieve and experience in life.
It is so. After reflecting on this remarkable journey, how would Nellie Ann describe her life so far? What words come to mind?
2 words capture the essence of her experience: grateful and blessed.
Wow, those are powerful words.
Yeah,
They really encapsulate her outlook on life, an outlook rooted in gratitude, appreciation, and a deep sense of fulfillment.
it's truly inspiring.
Mm.
And as we wrap up this deep dive into Nellie Ann Tan's incredible life and career, I'm struck by her unwavering spirit, her dedication to her clients, and her profound sense of gratitude.
Me too. Her story really highlights the power of hard work, perseverance, and building those authentic connections.
Mhm.
It's a reminder that success isn't one-dimensional. It can be measured in countless ways, and true fulfillment often comes from making a positive impact on the lives of others.
Absolutely. It's about finding that sweet spot where our skills, our values, and the needs of others intersect. And Nellie Ann has clearly found that alignment, and it's been the driving force behind her extraordinary success.
So well said. I'm curious to hear what you think as someone who's delved into so many different stories. What aspects of Nellie Ann's journey resonate most with you?
What strikes me most is her ability to continually evolve and redefine her definition of success.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in those external markers of achievement.
Right.
But Nellie Ann reminds us that true fulfillment comes from aligning our actions with our values and prioritizing what truly matters, whether it's family meaningful work or simply enjoying the simple joys of life.
I completely agree. Her journey is a powerful reminder that success is a fluid concept. It's a journey that unfolds over time. And what resonates most with me is her unwavering commitment to building those genuine connections, from her loyal clients who span generations to our dedicated staff, her incredible bond with her sons. And Felix, it's clear that relationships are at the heart of everything she does.
That's a great point. Her story really underscores the power of human connection and the profound impact it can have on our lives and our work.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who might be inspired by Nellie Ann's journey and is interested in exploring financial planning options, we'll be sure to include some helpful links in the show notes. If you're seeking guidance from someone with experience, integrity, and a genuine desire to help you achieve your financial goals, Nellie Ann Tan is a name to remember.
Absolutely. Her expertise and dedication speak for themselves. But even if you're not currently seeking financial advice, there's so much to learn from Nellie Ann's story. Her resilience, her commitment to her values, her profound sense of gratitude. These were qualities we can all aspire to cultivate in our own lives.
It's a powerful message that transcends any specific profession or industry. It's about living a life of purpose, meaning, and connection.
Beautifully put. Now, before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought inspired by Nellie Ann's journey. Take a moment to reflect on your own definition of success. What truly matters to you? What legacy do you want to leave behind?
It's a question worth pondering, and as Nellie Ann has shown us, it's a question we can continue to explore and redefine as we journey through life.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the inspiring life of Nellie Ann Tan. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep striving to live a life filled with purpose and meaning.
You know, as we've been talking about Nellie Ann's story, it really hits me just how much experience she has. I
Incredible.
think 45 years in the financial advising world, that's got to be a treasure trove of wisdom.
It really is. And it's not just the amount of time, it's her approach.
Yeah.
Nellie Ann hasn't just been going through the motions. She's been actively building those relationships, learning from every interaction, and refining her understanding of what truly matters to people.
It's like she's turned her career into this masterclass in both finance and human connection.
Yeah.
I bet she has some incredible stories about the clients she's helped over the years. Oh, I'm sure she does. Imagine the impact she's had helping people navigate those major life decisions, plan for their futures, and achieve their financial goals. That's a legacy that goes way beyond any awards or accolades.
Absolutely. It's about empowering people, giving them the tools and knowledge to build a secure and fulfilling future that's got to be incredibly rewarding.
It is, and it's something that anyone considering a career in financial advising should really pay attention to.
Right.
It's not just about crunching numbers. It's about understanding people's dreams, their fears, their aspirations.
It's about being a guide, a mentor, a trusted advisor who helps people navigate the complexities of the financial world and make those informed decisions that align with their values.
Exactly, and that's what Nellie Ann embodies. She's not just selling products, she's building those lasting relationships based on trust, integrity, and a genuine desire to help people thrive.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Nellie Ann's incredible life and career, what are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, I think first and foremost, her story highlights the power of early experiences in shaping our values and setting us on a particular path.
Right.
Nellie Ann's entrepreneurial upbringing and the profound influence of her mother clearly played a role in her success.
It's a good reminder that we can learn valuable lessons from every experience, even those that seem unrelated to our chosen career path.
Absolutely, and it's never too late to embrace new challenges and redefine our own version of success. Nellie Ann's transition from the demanding restaurant business to financial advising, even facing her father's initial skepticism, shows that we can always carve out a new path for ourselves, even when others doubt us.
It's about having the courage to follow our passions and trust our intuition, even if it means taking a leap of faith.
Exactly. And finally, I think Nellie Ann's story underscores the power of gratitude. Her heartfelt expressions of thanks for her family, her clients, her colleagues, and even her personal assistant highlight the importance of recognizing and appreciating the people who support us on our journey.
Gratitude is such a powerful force. It shifts our focus from what we lack to what we have, and it fosters this sense of contentment and appreciation for the blessings in our lives.
So well said. It's not just about achieving success. It's about acknowledging and celebrating the people who have contributed to our journey along the way.
So as we say goodbye to Nellie Ann Tan and her inspiring journey, what are some final words of wisdom you'd like to leave our listeners with?
Embrace your experiences, redefine success on your own terms, and above all, cultivate a heart filled with gratitude. Those are the ingredients for a truly fulfilling life, a life that leaves a positive impact on the world and inspires others to do the same.
Beautifully put. Thank you for joining us on this celebratory deep dive into the extraordinary life of Nellie Ann Tan. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep striving to live a life that matters.